So we are reading from the Mandukya Upanishad. This is our online class number 15 on the first chapter of this Upanishad. We are studying the mantra number 7. So I would chant it in Sanskrit. Nanta prajnam na bahish prajnam no bhayata prajnam na prajnana ghanam na prajnam na prajnam adrishtam avyavaharyam agrajyam alakshanam achintyam avyapadeshyam ekatma pratyayasaram prapanchopashamam shantam shivam advaitam chaturthang manyante sa atma sa vigneyaha. As I have told already that when I would be translating this mantra, I will use the word conscious, not consciousness, because we are going to analyze the states of our being conscious so that we can reach to the consciousness behind these states. So the mantra says that they consider the fourth pada, the fourth, or turiya, to be that which is not conscious of the internal world, not conscious of the external world, means not conscious of the swapna or dream state, not conscious of the waking state, not conscious of any intermediary state if there would be any, nor conscious of the condensed mass of deep sleep, nor conscious nor unconscious, which is unseen, which is beyond empirical dealings, beyond the grasp of the organs of actions, which is not inferable, which is unthinkable, indescribable, whose valid proof consists in the belief in the self, in which all phenomena cease, which is unchanging, auspicious, non-dual. That is the self. That is to be known. Sa atma sa vigneyaha. Last time we discussed this idea that in yoga you are needed to remove the thoughts, but in Vedanta we are required to rectify the mistakes in our thoughts. Is mistake a thing that you can remove it, rectify it? No, it is a state. It is the whole movie hall that we discussed last time. You are in the movie hall in IMAX, suppose, together with yourself. You are there inside the movie hall and you are participating in the, not only in the movie, but in the whole surroundings, whole atmosphere. You are in the hall. And suppose this hall is one of the states. So you can come out of the state. You are part of the state. You can take part in the state, but you do not belong to the state. So we had given two examples for you to practice self-analysis. The easier one is the movie theater or the IMAX. And the second one is an example of red flower and colorless crystal, and you being there, means you are the red crystal. Crystal is colorless, flower is red, and both of them created a red crystal. And that is Vishwa, that is all the people who are in the waking state and listening to this Mandukya Upanishad study. You don't need to remove the flower. You don't need to get out of the cinema hall. But you have to know that you are free from them even when you are participating in them. Now we continue. The Yoga Samadhi state is a state of individual self-realization. You will see that we will be emphasizing on this differentiation between the Yoga Samadhi and Vedanta Samadhi. You will see that we are going to clarify it further. The Yoga Samadhi is a state, and it is a state of individual self-realization, which is available in the Samadhi state alone. In Vedanta, this realization, self-realization, is available in all the states. In all the states. In the waking state, in the dream state, in the sleep state, and also in Samadhi. This is the difference. Yoga self-realization, individual self-realization happens in the Samadhi state. But Vedantic self-realization happens in any of the states, and most importantly, it has got the maximum chance to happen in the waking state. You don't need to go to Samadhi. So, it is not available in one state only, and then only it will be called a total experience. Realization of the infinite reality or Brahman, or the plenary experience is, as they call it, the total experience. The unlimited experience of the unlimited consciousness. That is called Brahmajnanam. Even if you are in Turiya state, in Samadhi suppose, there is always the risk that you will be inclined to fall back to the other states. You need to come back. But in non-dual realization, you are always protected from that propensity or prospect of fall, because you are beyond the effect and defects of any state or all the states. The effects of states are nothing but being conditioned by or dependent on the states. Like suppose you are enjoying bliss in Samadhi, your Samadhi breaks. Then you come back to the world of the other states. In the waking state, someone wants physical happiness, someone wants mental enjoyment, the yogi wants the Samadhi happiness. So you are dependent on or conditioned by these enjoyments or happinesses. All dependences are called samsara, or the cycle of rebirths and re-deaths. The crystal is colorless whether there are flowers around or no flowers around. This is the truth. The mirror is clean. Whether you stand before the mirror or somebody else stand before the mirror, you stand there, but still the mirror is clean. It reflects your face, but it does not taint the mirror. You come with suppose the yellow hat, stand before the mirror, and the mirror will change its color, it will look yellow. But when you go away, the mirror remains the same. You don't need to clean it with soap powder or anything. And even when you are standing in front of the mirror and it is looking yellow, the mirror is still as clean as ever. It is as clean as when you were not there. But when you are standing in front of the mirror, you see your reflection, not you. You see your reflection. And that reflection you call Vishwa. That reflection you called individual soul. This is the truth. This cannot be different any time and anywhere. That is why it is called the truth. The wrong thinking is called adhyasa. That you thought that because of your standing before the mirror changed its color, looked yellow. That is actually a mistake, and that is why it is called adhyasa, or taking the attributes from the state. There is another problem. If we recommend samadhi for knowing turiyam, only samadhi. Suppose I have to go to samadhi to know the turiyam. I have to remove the waking state, the dream state, and then go to samadhi. That means I have to give up my Vishwaness. I have to give up my waking state means I have to give up my Vishwaness. I have to give up my Taijasaness. But you and we all know that the faculty of knowing is available mostly in my waking state, Vishwa state, and somewhat in the Taijasa or dream state. The faculty of knowing is available mostly in Vishwa state, in the waking state. So I don't need to go to any state. The knowership or the pramatritvam, they say, is available in these two states of Vishwa and Taijasa. So when I remove the Vishwa and Taijasa, then what is left in turiyam? But the turiyam is neither a knower nor a non-knower. Suppose similarly you take the fourth pada or the turiya pada as a state. In that case, when you remove turiya, what will be left there? In Vishwa state, when you removed Vishwa, what is left is turiya. In Taijasa state, when you remove Taijasa, what is left is turiya. Now in the turiya state, what will be left if you remove turiya? It will be lost, everything will be lost. As prajna in the sleep, you have lost the ability to know that you exist. In the turiya state, you have dissolved all the mind. Then who is there to know that I am turiya? I am conscious, I am Atman. At this point, you have only one possibility to answer, and that is the turiya will know itself. That we can say. Then in that case, the turiya or the pure consciousness will become a knower, a pramata, they say in Sanskrit, will become a knower. Then it will be someone like Vishwa who is knower, a limited individual with all its attributes of the states, like the waking state attribute. So then turiya will be like Vishwa. So this is a very tough situation. If you say turiya is a state, turiya pada is a state, then there is a problem. Suppose for the sake of argument, we accept that turiya knows itself. You have left the states of the waking, etc. And you are now in the turiya state. Now there is no Vishwa, no Taijasa, etc. Then the question will be, in the waking state, who suffers from the miseries of the state? It is Vishwa. Okay? In the waking state, the waker. I am calling it Vishwa, you know this is the word. So the waker suffers from miseries in the waking state. Then the logic will be, if in the waking state Vishwa or waker suffers from miseries, but turiya gets liberation in the turiya state, then you, my dear Vishwa, you will continue to suffer Turiya has got his liberation. It is free from its suffering. But you, Vishwa, remain there. And you remain there to be an eternal sufferer, an eternal samsari only. So that is a big problem. If you have to realize yourself as non-dual Atman or consciousness or Turiyam, in the Turiya state or in the samadhi state, then that person in the samadhi state will get liberation. Then what will happen to the person who is there in the waking state? Because you said that Turiya is different from other states. So this is a very, very difficult situation. Vishwa or the waker will continue to suffer. So the logic is, and it is the reality, that in the state, Vishwa state itself, where there is suffering happening and you are suffering, you should have to get liberation from suffering in the waking state itself. You don't need to go to deep sleep. Yes, we try to go to deep sleep so to get rid of our suffering. That is for a short time. So if you have to go to Turiya state, if you accept Turiya is a state, if you have to go to Turiya state, then there you get liberation. But here this poor fellow in the waking state, the waker, continue to suffer. Therefore, this is the stand of Vedanta, that in the waking state, when you are awake, you are Vishwa. And when you are having the ability to know as a knower, you have to realize that you are in reality, in fact, consciousness, the Turiyam, the pure consciousness. Here and now, in this state itself, you don't have to run about searching for it anywhere. You were suffering, you were ignorant because of your false identification with the bodies or with the states. Each state has got different body. The suffering belongs to the state. This is called self-knowledge. If we are able to transfer our identification with the suffering and transfer the suffering, hand over the suffering to the state, then that is what is called self-knowledge. I am Turiyam, I am Brahman, even though I am appearing as a waker, Vishwa. Tattvam Asi, that means Turiyam is Vishwa, Tattvam Asi, consciousness. This waker is the pure consciousness. This scriptural text is told by the Guru, and then the student realizes that Aham Brahmasmi, I the Vishwa am Brahman, I the waker am consciousness, pure consciousness. Now another prospect. The Guru, the scripture and the intellect as the knower are available in the waking state alone only. These are the aids for our self-realization. They are available in the waking state only. The scriptures, you can open the book and read and contemplate on that with the help of your intellect as the knower. And Guru shows which part of the scripture is suitable for you. This is available in the waking state only. You don't need to go to samadhi. With these helps, I know that I appear to be with the attributes, but actually I am the pure consciousness. I am Turiyam. I am Turiya. It is like the crystal which appears to be having RGB color, red, green and blue. You put a red flower, the crystal has a red color. You put a green flower in front of the crystal, it becomes green. Blue flower, it becomes blue. So it appears to be green, it appears to be blue, it appears to be red, but it has not become red, has not become really red. Appears. I appear to be having the states. I appear to be in the states. I appear to be in the cinema hall. But I am always different from the hall, different from all the states. I am always Turiyam. I am always the pure consciousness. Even as Vishwa, I am Turiyam. As Taijasa, I am Turiyam. As Prajna, I am Turiyam. Even in a samadhi state, I am Turiyam. This much is the introduction to our mantra. Because immediately after this, when we read each and every wonderful words of this mantra, you will see that we have got clarification for that already. Now we directly go to the words in the mantra. It will be easy to explain them. The Upanishad is saying, Nanta prajna na vahish prajnam. Nanta prajnam na vahish prajnam. Vahish prajnam means turned outside. And antah prajnam means turns inward. Turned outward, turned inward. So these things, one after another, they will come. So we go on reading and explaining. We have seen earlier that the Turiya or the pure consciousness is available in all the three states. You don't need to go to any particular state or a samadhi to search for it. It is everywhere because it is the substratum for all. The thread which is used to make the garland of many flowers, that thread runs through each and every flower. To find that thread, you don't have to go to any place. Wherever you are, there itself you will find the thread inside the flower in front of you. So, at the same time, it is different from all the three states, all these states. That is why it is called the fourth. How? Now let us listen to the mantra. The mantra says, Na vahish prajnam. You, my dear Vishwa, you are not Vishwa, but you are Turiyam. You appear to be Vishwa by mistake, but in reality, you are Turiyam. You have to always keep it in mind. Turiyam means fourth. It is a number and it represents the Atman which is lying behind all the states. So in reality you are that Atman, that pure consciousness. You appear to be Vishwa by mistake. Vahish prajna means extrovert or the consciousness directed outside the body. Means Vishwa in the waking state. In the seventh mantra, the Upanishad says, you are not Vahish prajna. That means you are not Vishwa. You appear to be Vishwa. By mistake, you think that you are Vishwa. Then I may ask, am I not Vishwa or extrovert now? Yes. But that is an appearance. You as pure consciousness, Turiyam, can never be extrovert or introvert. There is no outside and inside of infinity. There is no outside, and therefore there is no inside. Then what is extrovert? That is the question. If I am not extrovert, then why is this word used? Yes, this is a good question. It is the mind which is referred to as extrovert or introvert. Right? That's what we have learnt always. An extroverted person, an introverted person means a person who is very much interested in outside things. The mind, the instrument which is extrovert in the waking state. Like in the case of the flowers and the colorless crystal. The colors belong to the flowers, not to the crystal. Therefore, the extrovertedness belongs to the mind, not to me, the pure consciousness. This is the analysis concerning the outermost level of myself. Right? Let us peel off or remove this layer and then go in. The Upanishad says, Na antah pragyam, not the second pada, not the dream state, not introvert. It is your mind, not you, that is introvert. The Upanishad says, you are not introvert. It is your mind which is introvert. Then the Upanishad proceeds further and says, Na prajnana ghanam. It refers to prajna in the deep sleep state. You are not the condensed form of the state. You are not the state. You are different from the state. You are Turiyam. About what are we talking? About Turiyam, about the pure consciousness, which is associated with all the states but not identical with all the states or any of the states. It is therefore not the consciousness which is turned outside in the waking state. It is not the consciousness turned inside in the dream state, nor is it the consciousness associated with the condensed state in sleep. We have seen that the states are changeful. When you are in dream state, then two other states are not there. Right? When I am dreaming, then I am not awake. I am not in deep sleep. Similar is the case with any one state. Take up any one state, then you will see that other two states are not there. That means the states are not permanent. They go on changing. But one constant thing is there in all of them, and that is what is called Turiya. You are Turiya. You are awake, you are dreaming, you are asleep. But the sleep, dream and waking, these are all states. They change, but you do not change. You are the same person, same Turiya. When we are talking about Vishwa, we mean Vishwa Prajna, Vahish Prajna. Similarly, when we are saying Taijasa, we say Antah Prajna. And when we are saying Prajna, it is Ghana Prajna. You can notice that the words Vishwa, Anta and Ghana, they are changeful. They are indicative of different states, and hence they are different. That means the words waking, dreaming and deep sleep, they are different words because they are names of mutually opposing separate states. But the word prajna or consciousness is the same everywhere. Vahish prajna, antah prajna, ghana prajna. Prajna is there always to give validity to the states. This prajna word means consciousness, the Turiya. Turiya is not actually associated with any of these three states. Hence, these negations of the states have to be done. Now, a doubt may be raised. The consciousness may be associated with some intermediary space or in between these three states, like we have in the borders between two countries. There is an overlap of everything. At the border areas, people speak a mixed language, have mixed culture, etc. Therefore, the question is, what about that possibility? Then the Upanishad says, no bhayata prajñam, nor conscious of both the states at the same time. If there be one more state like the border state, then also the turiya is not aware of or associated with that state too. Yes, one may imagine a no man's land between any pair of states, like between the waking and sleep state. Addressing this doubt, the Upanishad continues. Na prajñam. Na prajñam means nor conscious. Now see, the word conscious is being used. The meaning is the turiya is not simultaneously conscious of all the three states. This is another strong point we have to realize ourselves. Not conscious. What is the meaning? No prajñam. The meaning is that turiyam is not simultaneously or at the same time conscious of all the three states. Na prajñam means na yugapat prajñam, means the turiya is not conscious of all the three states at the same time. That is because all the three states cannot happen at the same time. Like you cannot be sleeping, waking and dreaming at the same time. You cannot gather the three states together. There is no way that you can be present in all the three states at the same time. Right? So you cannot be aware of the three states at the same time. That means the states are not available together. They are states, but they don't have any good relation between them. They contradict each other. When one is there, other two should not be there. That is their compromise between them. So you cannot know three of them together. Please notice the trouble the Upanishad is taking to remove our ignorantly manufactured doubts. We do create such calculative doubts just to show how smart we are. Yes, we are very smart. You will know it when you live with somebody else. You will see how smart your mind is. It will manufacture doubts about the other person. And reasonable, unreasonable doubts. Here also, we want to be more clever, then we raise such questions, and the Upanishad is trying to address those questions, even if they are childish. Well, if the turiyam does not know the states individually, like it does not know the external things because it is not extrovert, it does not know the internal things because it is not introvert. So then what happens? It is not available. It does not know the states together. It does not know the states simultaneously. Then it should be inert, jadam, inert, like dead, dull matter. To address this question, the Upanishad says, because this is a very, very serious charge brought against the Upanishadic understanding. Atman is conscious, and you are trying to show that it is unconscious or inert. So it says, na prajñam, no aprajñam, na prajñam, nor inert, my dear, nor a thing that is dead, dull, and hence has no consciousness. It is not like that. Turiyam is not like that. It is not matter. No, it is not like matter. Please notice that the answers are given in the negative form. All the negatives, like not this, not this, not this, can lead to this understanding that the turiyam is matter. The mantra refutes that suggestion. Then how do you find it? That means how do you prove that it is there? Well, the answer to this question is, as the Upanishad says, adrushtam. How do you know? So it is not seen, it is unseen, hidden from your eyesight, adrushtam. It is beyond the eye's capability to capture it as an object, adrushtam. The turiam cannot be seen. It can only be seen if it is an object of your eyes or the sense organ that is used to see. Then it cannot be seen, but it may be felt by touch, etc. It may be heard like that if you say. No, this word unseen includes or represents all the sense organs that are used to support the direct perception, pratyaksam, pratyaksa pramanam, of a thing by seeing, hearing, touching or feeling, tasting and smelling. These are called direct perception. You can know a thing directly. These are the ways. The direct perception is one of the testimonies or proofs or evidences of our verifying things and gaining knowledge about them. The gist of this negation is that the turiyam is not to be known by the 5 jnanendriyas or the instrument of knowledge, like the eyes, the ears, the nose, the tongue and the skin. Then the Upanishad moves on. It says, avyavaharyam, beyond empirical dealings. We try to skip it now, we will take it up later. We go to the next word, agrajyam. Yes, agrajyam, beyond the grasp of the organs of action. Yes, to grasp something, we use our hands. Hands, like the legs, belong to the 5 karmendriyas or the 5 instruments of actions. So our actions come under the pratyaksha pramanam or direct knowledge. And this is not possible. In formal logic, we use some pramanas, some evidences. Otherwise, we cannot prove things. Pramanas are integral part of a logic or reasoning. Pramana means testimonies or evidences or proofs or simply the data. In ordinary language, it is called proof. Please remember that earlier in one of our classes, we discussed the idea that Vedanta, particularly this Mandukya Upanishad, deals with the path of knowledge, jnanam, in order to know the reality or the ultimate truth, know the self. We humans are called Homo sapiens because we are able to ask the question, who am I? That means we want to know ourselves. That question leads us to the process of knowledge, and that is by self-analysis for the sake of our self-realization. That is the process of knowledge. Knowledge means we are going to analyze things intellectually so that we can reach ourself or get self-realization. Therefore, the question is being answered following the path of knowledge. In this path or in this process, the questioner is called a pramata, a questioner, or simply the knower. You see, when you take up a process, we have already discussed that it should have a triputi. Triputi means 3 participants in that. So here, knower, the thing to be known, and the process which is called knowledge, instrument. So this discipline of knowing, it includes these 3. So why is it called self-enquiry? Why is this path or process called self-enquiry? We understand that yes, with the help of our intellect we will do that. But why is it called self-enquiry? It is because I want to know myself. I don't want to know you. So that won't be self-enquiry. I want to know who I am. That is my Homo sapienness. So I want to know myself. That is why it is called self-enquiry. I wanted to know who I am. This path or process of knowledge use proofs or pramanas and proves the conclusions. It will prove with the help of the data. It is not asking you to believe. We have different kinds of proofs. So they say pratyaksa pramanam. I will have to discuss these things because they are the main instruments which would help us to analyze the self or to analyze the states and the mixture of the self. So there is number one proof is direct perception. We will discuss only 3 proofs here because they are common to all the philosophies. And other proofs, they are more or less part of the second proof. So first proof or first testimony is direct perception. Suppose I see you there with my own eyes, then it is proof to me that you exist. I hear your voice from anywhere with my own ears. It is proof that you exist. This is called pratyaksa pramana, direct perception. I don't need somebody else's help to know that you exist. This is the proof, this is the data. Then second proof is anumana or inference. Suppose I see from a distance that smoke is coming out of our chimney in the house. Then it is proof that somebody has lighted the fireplace. I cannot see the fire, but seeing the clue or seeing the sign of smoke, that is the data. I can infer easily that there is fire below this. So I will go there and get the fire. That is sure proof. There are 3 other important pramanas which are various forms of this inference. Then the last one is called Shabda Pramana or verbal testimony or evidence by the scriptures. It is very important, which we have already stressed upon many times. This is called Shabda Pramanam or scriptural testimony. It is the means of valid knowledge using the data or proof of spoken or written words. There are other pramanas, as I have said, I am not going to discuss them. So till now we have seen that the Upanishad negated the validity of the pramana called the direct perception. We have seen that it has said that there is no direct perception of this Atman possible or Turiam possible. Now it is going to negate another one pramana which is called anumana or inference. So the next word in the mantra number 7 is alakshanam, that which is not inferable. You do not have a lakshana or a clue or a data to deduce the Turiyam or consciousness, to reach the consciousness, to infer the consciousness. It is not an object of direct perception that we have seen. Now we inferred fire seeing the smoke that we have discussed, because we all know that smoke is connected with fire. If the fire is not there, there will be no smoke. And that is why smoke was taken as a clue to infer the fire, as the data. But the fire can exist without smoke, that is also true. Is it not? Smoke cannot exist without fire, but fire can exist without smoke. Turiam is like that. It does not give you any chance to infer it by seeing the data, the signs, signals, clues. It exists without any clue or any sign. Okay? Well, then we may think of other ways to infer it or presume its presence. Like we may use our mind to know it. Can we? No. It is achintyam, the Upanishad says, achintyam, unthinkable. It cannot be made an object of our mind. Because the mind itself is an object. Yat manasa na manute yenahur manomatam. The mind cannot grasp the consciousness because the consciousness is an object of, the mind is an object of consciousness. Because consciousness is always the subject, the only eternal subject, ever present subject. The turiya cannot be grasped by the mind because of that. Then let us try to describe it with the help of words, shabdam. This is the third pramanam we said. No, that is also not possible. The Upanishad says it is avyapadeshyam, indescribable. The word vyapadesha means name. That means you cannot give it a name to indicate that it exists. Whatever has a name is an object. A name can be given to a known thing or a thing that is not known now but can be known afterwards. A name can be applicable to a thing that is defined as a member of a species or a group called jati, or as a quality of a thing called guna, or as an action involving that thing, kriya, or a thing which can be given a name, dravyam. Jati, guna, kriya, dravyam. These are the four indications that you can give it a name, but it does not have this. It is not part of a species. Atman or consciousness is not part of a species, not part of a group. And it is not a quality. It is not involved in any action, any movement, any change. And it is not an object. So all these do not apply to what? To this asanga turiya. They say asanga. Asangoyam nahi sajjate. This Atman is asanga. Asanga means which is ever free consciousness, ever free. It does not have any companion. It is always one and the same, infinite. That is why the Upanishad has said in the word which we skipped before, it is avyavaharyam, beyond empirical dealings. That means it has no quality or competence or fitness to be useful for worldly transactions. Turiyam is disqualified as useful in our material dealings, avyavaharyam. All the earlier negations proved that the turiyam is not available to be defined or detected by direct perception, by inferences, by verbal evidences or shabda, or even by the mind or by our speech and all. As we know, we skipped this word of vyavaharyam before. Now it is clear why we did it. Turiyam cannot be part of any transaction, be it a transaction in karma yoga, or bhakti yoga, or even jnana yoga. Turiya cannot be part of a triputi that I have already said. That is, it cannot be one of the three participants in a process. Like in karma yoga, between the worker or doer, the job that we do karma, and the way we do that job, kriya. this Tripurti will not be available, because consciousness is not part of any of these three. In Bhakti Yoga, consciousness is neither the meditator, nor the object of meditation, nor the process called meditation. In case of even Vedantic research, that I have already said, that it cannot be a knower also. It cannot know by itself. The person who will investigate pramata, the knower, consciousness cannot be the knower, cannot be the object of knowledge or investigation, and cannot be the process of investigation or knowledge. This mantra is negating those all possibilities that have been presented in the early 3 mantras in the Upanishad, or 4 mantras, from mantra number 3 to 6. Please remember, this mantra number 7, is about Turiya or Chaturtha Pada, not state. Pada of Atman. In this 7th mantra, the suggestion that the Atman has 4 padas has been negated. Said no, the Atman does not have 4 padas or 4 parts or 4 states. Until now we have seen that the Upanishad has denied the validity of the first 3 padas, presented serially in the mantra number 3, 4 and 5 and 6. Now it is taking us to assert all things about the 4th pada. Now it is positive. The Turiya or the 4th pada. Once again, please keep it in mind that the word Turiya literally means a count, the 4th. So the mantra continues, Ekatma Pratyaya Saram, whose valid proof consists in the conviction in the self. I will explain it. Now you see that the process of denying has stopped with this word. Atma Pratyaya means Ahamiti Pratyaya. That means I am that conviction. When you know that you are there, different from all these states and their attributes, all these characteristics, as soon as you know that I am, that conviction of the ever-present and never-absent awareness of the Turiyam or Atman inside, that is the proof. If I want to prove your existence, you should be there. But now I wanted to ask this question, who am I? So I turned myself towards me. How many people are there? I turned my gaze towards myself. How many people are there participating in this? You and you. What type of you are you? The dresses, the body, the mind, intellect? None of them. They belong to the states. So, Atma Pratyaya Saram, Atma Pratyaya, I am that conviction. How is this conviction of being inside? Inside. You will find that inside only, not outside. Just think that you are in your house. The house is so useful to you, with all its gadgets running. Even the alarm system is keeping it safe. All the fittings are part of the house, not of you. When a house is on fire, one runs out of the house. The house remains behind. We are so separate from our own house. But suppose a burglar comes into the house. He knows that it is a dead house. He knows that he does not belong to the house, nor does the house belong to him. But he has to fulfill his purpose, his goal, That is why he is here. This is the nearest to us, aham, I, because it is the I awareness of me. Saram means pramanam, valid proof. As soon as you know that you are there participating in all these dramas, then you are separate from the dramas. That is proof that you are there. What more proof do I need about my own existence? The awareness of my own existence cannot be taken away from me. Hence, this is the most valid proof of the existence of Turiyam, the consciousness. Atma pratyaya saram. Then it has one more word, then ekatma pratyaya saram. That means one, not many, not more than one. I am one even though I am not alone. My existence is the only one existence that is valid for me. That conviction in my own existence does not need any outside proof. It is self-evident. It became self-evident because of my self-analysis. And it is self-evident because it is self-knowledge. I will stop here today. We will go a bit further with this word ekatma pratyaya saram. It is a wonderful conclusion we are going to arrive at through this word, where things become positive now. All the descriptions about negation, not this, not that, not that, we have crossed those boundaries. Now we have come into the realm of this self-knowledge. We will continue with that for some more time. But today we have come to the end of our time, and I thank you very much for your participation. We will conclude with a chanting of Om once together. Om.